Autauga football review with Coach Bobby Carr. Coach, we played Edgewood this past week. Big win, region champs. I know there was some emotion going back over there, so that's kind of where you came from. Just talk about how the offense played first.
I thought we did a good job getting it in our athletes' hands. We sputtered on one drive, didn't finish the drive right there at the end of the half. Another drive, we threw an interception on a screen pass, which shouldn't happen. But again, other than that, I thought we executed pretty well. I was pretty pleased with, Tay Palmer and Ty Freeman both did a good job of doing the things that they do to help our offense be successful.
Going to that a little bit, how difficult is it to have a two-quarterback system? I know Tay's kind of had a little nagging injury, and we kind of worked Ty a little bit, but kind of putting both of them in the game plan. How hard is it to kind of get them both in sync and having that two-quarterback system?
To me, it's not hard. Some coaches it might be, because growing up, I played in a two-quarterback system. We had a quarterback named Terry Smith that was probably as good an athlete as you'll see. And I rotated with him, so he was kind of our running quarterback, and then, of course, I threw it and kind of ran the offense. So I was familiar with that growing up in high school, and then, of course, coaching at Edgewood, I had Dylan Ingram and Sam Coleman, and they were both similar, to the guys we've got now, Tay and Ty. Dylan threw it all over the place, and Sam was a special athlete that could get the ball down the field in a hurry with his speed.
Going to the defensive side of the ball, Coach, coming in, Edgewood's kind of averaged a lot of points, against the teams they played, and we just came in and just shut them down, Coach. 60 yards total offense. The quarterback was 2 of 7 passing, 3 interceptions. Willie Willis, who's our player of the week, we're going to get to him in just a second, played a great game at defensive end. Just talk about the defense and how they played.
Yeah, hands down, that was as good as our defense played. I thought, both Willie and Dominique did a great job of setting the edge at DN. I thought our secondary played really, really well, putting a lot of pressure on their quarterback, and I don't think their offensive lines had to block some guys like we've got. So we felt pretty good going in with our game plan, and obviously our defense executed well. Coach Story did a great job of having our guys ready on that side of the ball.
Good deal. Coach, last thing before we get to Willie, our fans traveled really, really well to this game. It seemed like we had more fans on our side than they had on their side, and knowing it was a region championship game, and I know kind of the implications that we had and some other outside type of distractions in this game, but just talk about the fans and just how well they traveled for us.
It's been that way all year. I mean, I heard the folks at Pensacola talking about how we filled up the bleachers on the visitor side, and they played local teams in the area that don't bring as many folks as we brought down there. So I knew, we'd travel well, especially being a close game. I did hear that we had more fans than they did. So I thought that was great. It's always a good feeling when you look up there and see the support we have every Friday night.
Absolutely. Coach, player of the week, Willie Willis once again. But he's actually in a new position. We had him at Mike linebacker earlier when he got the player of the week, and now he put him at defensive end, and it just looked like he just flourished at what we were doing. Just talk about Willie, how he played, and just what he's done for this team and this defense.
Yeah, Willie's got a motor, and our offense sees it every day at practice because he don't take any plays off, and we were glad to see what he did on the defensive side of the ball. I think he split the double team 3 or 4 times the other night, but it seemed like every play he was around the football, if not making the play, was right there around it, even on special teams. I think he made one tackle on the kickoff team that I thought brought some noise and had a lot of oohs and ahs in the stands. So yeah, Willie did a great job. So we're going to expect the same thing in the next 4 weeks.
Absolutely. When we come back, we'll talk to Willie Willis, player of the week. Welcome to the Autauga Football Review Player of the Week. This is Willie Willis. How you doing, Willie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Willie, this is your second time getting Player of the Week. Played a new position this past week against Edgewood. Went down to defensive end, which I know that's kind of what you played before you got to Autauga. We played you at middle linebacker, decided to move you down to defensive end. Just talk about the atmosphere leading up to the game against Edgewood.
Well, I heard about the rivalry, before I came, how big the Edgewood game was, and I was, prepared to play it, and so it was really fun.
Just talk about the defense, how everybody played as a whole. We held them to 60 yards total offense. Quarterback was 207, had 3 picks. Just seems like the defense was just on point. Just talk about the game and just how it came to you and how the defense played.
Well, I feel like we prepared, pretty good watching film and, at practice, and I felt like defense played the best we played, all year. And I hope we can, keep it up throughout the season.
Talk about the emotion a little bit going into the game. Coach Carr going back for the first time since he left, and we try not to make that a big deal. We kind of downplayed that, and we just knew it was a region game for us. If we won, we'd be region champs. But just talk about it. I mean, that had to be back in the back of somebody's mind or our mind going into that game. So just talk about the emotion of the game.
Well, I felt like, we had his back, most definitely going into the game. The emotions was definitely high this week about Edgewood, So I feel like we prepared pretty good, we definitely had his back. He always talked about, him and going back there and stuff like that. So I feel like, we did pretty good.
Going into Glenwood, we last regular season game, senior year, this year, last regular season game of the year. Going to Glenwood again, almost all of our games have been on the road, which I think we kind of thrive on that. We like that challenge. But just talk about Glenwood and just what you've seen on film so far.
Well, first, their O-line is pretty good, So defensive line, we got to prepare really good. The whole defense as a whole, I'm sure offense, would do their part, so we got to prepare for them. And definitely their running back and quarterback, their running game is, really good, so we got to prepare for that.
Awesome. Last thing, and I'm going to let you go. One more thing just about Glenwood is, they're very physical. Got a big quarterback. Also a big running back. And what's going to be a key to keeping them contained, knowing that they do like to run the ball a lot?
Well, winning the line of scrimmage is first off. We got to win the line of scrimmage. Get a good push. And they help all linebackers and safety. Be where they're supposed to be when the front line is great. So,
good deal. This is Willie Willis, Player of the Week. Welcome back. That was Willie Willis. Coach, let's go into Glenwood. Last regular season game of the year for these seniors. On the road again. Going to play a tough Glenwood team, tough 3A team. It's out of our 2A conference. But just talk about Glenwood and just the challenges that's going to be to go up to Smith Station and play them.
Yeah, we're excited about it. This game will help us get ready for the playoffs for sure. They're probably one of the favorites to get to the finals in 3A and have a chance to win it. So we're going to have to be sound in all 3 phases. So, again, we're looking forward to the challenge. Again, these are the type of challenges that we played in a lot of games this year. So our kids are used to this, and they're excited about it.
Before we kind of get to some announcements, Coach, just this whole schedule's just been kind of tough. We've had a lot of tough games this year. We've had a lot of adversity, a couple off weeks, a cancellation game. But just talk about the schedule and some teams would be off this week or playing maybe a lesser opponent, and here we are playing a 3A team that has a shot maybe to go to the finals and play for a state championship. Just talk about just the schedule as a whole and what that does to help us in the playoffs coming up.
Yeah, if you can avoid the injuries, I think it's really good because it does prepare you. We do have a few guys banged up right now, but that's kind of part of football, But to me, I feel like our kids deserve more than to play 8 regular season games because they work as hard or harder than anybody every day. And we put a lot on them, and they respond the right way. And, but the one thing I've said, adversity causes some men to break and others to break records. And, the goal is to be the last one standing at the end of the year. And, our kids have put all that behind us, and our focus is on this week and then, of course, the playoffs after that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Just a couple announcements. We have that gun raffle going on. So if you'd like to buy a ticket, they're $20. Please see a cheerleader, a coach, or a football player. Please help us. It's a big fundraiser for our quarterback club and help our program. That raffle will keep going on and into the playoffs. So please see us. Coach, let's look at that victory.
Sounds good.
Go Generals.